Okay, think about the last world map you saw. You know the one. It probably looked super official, right? Like, this is just how the world is. But what if I told you that map wasn't a photograph? What if it was actually an argument? That's what we're going to dive into today, the hidden political choices that literally draw the lines on our world. So let's just jump right in with the big question. Have you ever noticed this? You're scrolling a news site. You see one map. Then you see a government report, and the map looks different. So why? Why isn't there just one official, true map of the world that everyone uses? Well, the simple reason is also a kind of mind-blowing one. It's because these maps aren't like scientific facts, you know? They're not like the periodic table. They aren't something we discover, they're something we decide. Every single one is a political choice. It's like casting a vote with colors and lines, making a statement about how the person drawing it sees the world. All right, so let's get into it. If every map is an argument, what exactly is it arguing? Let's pop the hood and see what these things are really telling us.
Okay, first things first, and this is super important. There is no, world map committee that stamps a map and says, yep, this is the one. No single organization gets the final say. It just doesn't exist.
So what are they then? Well, this right here is a pretty great way to think about it. A recognition map is basically a visual summary. It takes all these individual decisions that countries make, we recognize you, we don't recognize you, and it layers them all together into one single picture.
And what they're trying to do is take these super messy, complex diplomatic relationships and just make them simple. You can see at a glance who's in the club, who's kind of in, where the big fights are happening, and which places have a status that's just, well, it's complicated.
Right, so that begs a pretty obvious question, doesn't it? If there's no official authority, then who's actually drawing the world? Who are the people making these maps that we see all the time?
Well, for one, you've got governments and big international groups like the UN. And surprise, surprise, their maps tend to perfectly match their own foreign policy. They're not just showing you the world, they are showing you the world as they see it, or maybe as they want you to see it.
But it's not just the big official players. Media outlets, academics, researchers, even passionate editors on Wikipedia are making these maps. And every single one of them brings their own rulebook, their own sources. They're the ones deciding what information counts and how to present it.
So here's the bottom line. Every map has a creator, and every creator has a viewpoint. And because of that, no map can ever be totally neutral or definitive. It's always just one snapshot based on a whole bunch of choices.
Okay, so this gets us to the real heart of it. Let's talk about the specific reasons why these maps disagree. Why can't everybody just get on the same page?
And this right here, this is fascinating. It shows this fundamental clash. On one hand, for a map to work, it has to be simple. Clean lines, solid colors. But on the other hand, the reality of diplomacy is anything but simple. It's messy, it's always changing, it's full of gray areas. Maps have to say yes or no. But in the real world, recognition can be partial or unofficial. A map is a static picture, but diplomacy is constantly moving.
So what this means is that map makers are forced to make judgment calls all the time. Like, what color do you make a country when some nations fully recognize it, but others only have informal relations? Or what do you do when a country just stays silent and doesn't say anything at all? There's no easy answer. There's no objective rulebook for that.
And this really gets at the biggest problem, right? You see a country colored in solid blue on a map, and you think, okay, everyone agrees. But hiding behind that one simple color, there could be a mountain of footnotes, exceptions, and messy political fights that you just can't see.
Okay, so why does any of this matter? I mean, it's kind of an abstract idea, right? So what's the real-world takeaway? Why should you care? It actually matters a ton. Because these maps, these visual arguments, they quietly shape what we all think. They create this feeling of certainty around issues that are actually super controversial. When we see a clean, simple map, our brain just tends to go, okay, that's a fact. And that can influence everything, from the news we read to the political debates we have.
Look, if you remember only one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. Diplomatic maps don't show the truth. They show choices. Every line, every single color is the end result of a human decision about what to put in, what to leave out, and how to frame the story.
So from now on, the next time you see a world map, and you will, maybe in a news article or a book, I just want you to pause for a second. Don't just see a picture. Ask yourself, who made this?
What choices did they make to draw it this way, and what's the story they're trying to tell me?